This is Marcus Richardson, President and CEO of Rich Group Financial. We look forward to working with you and helping serve you in the financial service arena. So, what that really means is we're going to be able to help you with life insurance for your mortgage protection, make sure that's taken care of when you pass. We're also going to be able to help you for your final expenses to make sure your burial and things like that are taken care of. We also are able to help you with retirement. So, if you're losing money in the market and you want to stop losing money, you don't want to keep losing money, we can help you with that. And we also can help you with Medicare. So if you want to make sure you got all that taken care of, please reach out to Rich Group Financial. You can find us at richgroupfinancial.com, or you can also send us an email at richgroup28@gmail.com. And we'd love to serve you and help you and bring you into the family.
All right. Welcome to the Pro Formula Podcast. I'm your host, Tarek Shabazz, and this podcast is all about professional development. So if you're trying to take your professional skills to the next level, you're in the right place. In order for us to be able to continue to bring you this great content, I'm going to need you to like, subscribe, or hit that bell on our YouTube page. You can also go to our Instagram, or you can go to our Facebook account. We look forward to seeing you at our next show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to the Pro Formula Podcast. I'm your host, Tarek Shabazz, and this podcast is all about helping leaders and organizations get the most out of performance, and that's individual performance and team performance. And I couldn't be more happy to have my guest with you all today. If you are in the Denver scene, his name is synonymous with the hip hop music scene. It's DJ K-Tone, who is a Westward two-time hip hop award winner. He's a three-time recipient of the Colorado Broadcaster Association Award, a two-time Urban Spectrum African American who makes a difference. And believe this or not, y'all, in March 2022, the Denver mayor, Mr. Michael Hancock, proclaimed March 2nd as DJ K-Tone Day. I want to bring you all to my guest, Mr. DJ K-Tone.
Yeah.
What's up with you, man?
Man, how you feeling?
Man, I'm doing great. What you been up to, man?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, living. You know what I'm saying? I heard you say something in the intro. You said, my next guest. I'm not your first guest?
No, man, we're having this going on, man, but you'll be one of my first.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be one of my first. Absolutely.
Your best guest.
The best guest.
As of yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
K-Tone and I go back a number of years, man. I've really always loved his grind. I've loved the work that he's done, not only for his own brand, but the work that he's doing in the community has just been incredible. And so this episode is going to be super important because we're going to be talking about the importance of being consistent and just having some consistency, man.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from, bro?
Man, I you know what? I'll be thinking about that too. Like, I don't know. I think it's just in me. I'm just never happy, I guess, where I'm at. I mean, once I reach a certain level, it's always like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did that. Okay, that's cool. What else?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on this, first thing I kind of want to talk about is like, when did things change for you? Like, when you were going out to dinner and people want to take pictures with you and things like that. I can remember when I was with the Mile High Bulldog Youth Association coaching, and one way that I knew I had landed and got on the scene was kids from other programs would start like, how can I get on your team and can I join your program? What was that moment, or what was that like for you?
I don't remember the exact moment, but it was like that. I think I was out one time and somebody was like, can I have your autograph? And I'm like, stop playing. They're like, no, serious. Had a marker and pen, paper. I'm like, all right, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Something I can get used to.
Yeah, something I can get used to. And I think that was like mid, late 2000s. You know what I'm saying? But it was real life. You know what I mean? And it really just started happening more and more, especially as I started doing more radio, started getting out there more. Like, that was really a thing, like, still to this day.
Yeah, I can remember being out with him a time or two, and people just like flock to him. You know, it's like everywhere he goes, people want to talk to him. And I would say, like, for anybody that's in this Denver area, man, you know this guy. He's like a celebrity that you could touch and that you could talk to. And one of the things that I've always admired about you, Tone, is that you give your time to people. Yeah. You know, somebody say, hey, man, I want a word, or I need to get some. You've never been that kind of guy that keeps your head up, you know, like you're better than others. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how important it is to still be embedded in part of your community.
man, that's the goal. I mean, that's the main mission. You know what I mean? I think where I'm at right now in life, that's the real mission is to give back. Ultimately, like when people think of giving back, they always think about giving money. It's not always about money.
Yeah.
Like when I be talking to these kids, or when I even just spending time with them, even if it's just 5 minutes, that means more to them than you know what I'm saying, getting some money sometimes. Because it's like you giving them something that they can't never get back, and that's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I've even looked at some of the seminars and things that you put on. I think you've really been big on talking about mental health and really helping people understand that, you got to make sure that you take care of your mental health.
Yeah.
Does that come from you were struggling with that, or where does that mental health awareness come from?
Definitely struggling with it. That comes from struggling with it. That comes from lack of knowledge of having, or a lack of having that knowledge growing up and learning about it. Like, well, I didn't get that.
Right.
What I meant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So going back and really putting the pride to the side and doing it. You know what I'm saying? Even like just with therapy. Like it was, I ain't go to therapy ever in my life until late 30s,
Wow.
mid 30s.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you were just trying to figure it out on your own.
Figure it
And
out.
when was that point where you said, "Man, I need to go get some help, or I need to figure it out"?
Like I said, late to mid 30s. Really, when I was at a rough period in my life. You know what I'm saying? Then going through a divorce and transition and all that type of stuff. And I didn't know. And the crazy part is, like, a lot of us suffer from uh, different things. And I come to find out, true story, they diagnosed me with early stages of depression.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, not me. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's real, and it comes in different forms. You know what I'm saying? So I think, around that time, and the more that I learned about it, the more I did it, the better I felt. And
how you doing these days? Where you at, mental health wise?
every day is different. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I feel I'm good. I'm still. It's a constant. It's a constant thing. Though it's not like, all right, you can uh, get your mental health together this year, but next year you could no.
It ain't. It's a work in
It's,
progress.
it's a work in progress, and I'm still a work in progress. But I feel like overall, uh, I'm good. But some days I might not feel as up as other days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think what I admire most is I think it takes courage because in our
Yeah.
community, it's taboo to say I need help. It's taboo to say
Yeah.
that I'm struggling.
Right.
We're supposed to be these ultra masculine men who have this bravado and who are above everything. And I can speak for myself. Whenever I need help, it's hard for me to ask for help.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, walk us through not necessarily what the depression was, but when you said I'm going to set up an appointment, I'm going to go speak to a counselor. Was it just that simple?
Um, kind of not. I mean, it wasn't that simple because it's like I said, I had to put the pride to the side. Like, all right, I'm gonna make this call, but it took me like really breaking down, and you know what I'm saying, probably just crying to myself and all that to well, you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because whatever you're doing ain't working.
Absolutely.
You know
For me, one of the things that I've been able to do to like try to maintain some positive mental health is I journal every single day. I mean, I'm literally in a gratitude journal every day. I take a good 20, 25 minutes because what I'm learning to do is like, I'm running bad programming. I always tell my kids like I'm an iPhone 14, but I'm running it off of the iPhone 7 software.
Right.
And so I need to update my software, and that's been something that I've been able to use to help me improve my mental health. How about you? What's some things that you do to just kind of keep on that mental health regimen?
Man, same thing. So I journal frequently. Um, I do therapy, do counseling. What the biggest thing I've done this past year is I have a self care day. I took one day for myself. I put my boundaries up. If I don't want to answer the phone, I'm not gonna answer the phone.
And you're not feeling guilty about that?
I'm not feeling guilty about it.
Did you struggle with boundaries?
I did. What? Still do. But so that's a constant.
Yeah.
That's a constant work in progress too. And I think you got to update your boundaries still too. You know what I mean? Keep them updated once a month, because your boundary might change.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? But my self-care day, Monday, don't call me.
No,
I'll call you.
and look, when you look at the Bible, man, God rested on the seventh day, and if
Yeah.
God needed some rest, what
Yeah.
would make us think that we could just continuously go nonstop
No.
without getting some rest? And so, I commend you to
Yeah.
that. Are you sticking to that? And how
I'll
long you
stick to
been
it.
doing it?
No, I'll stick to it. So I've been doing, I don't know the exact, but I'll just say this year.
Okay.
So like beginning this year, Mondays, I just take Mondays for myself. Like it might be different. Like one Monday I might go get a mani and pedi, treat myself. I might get a massage. I might go to the movies. Like I'll go to the movies by myself. Even if I fall asleep, I'll just go
That's
to
a
the movie.
good nap.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Watch a movie. Sometimes I just go to the park and literally just take my shoes off, sit in the park, like won't do nothing. Some days I don't do nothing. I'll sit in bed or on the couch or do nothing. No TV on, no nothing.
And for you all that may not know, you're talking about somebody who's a real workaholic.
Yeah.
Is it okay that I call you that?
Yeah.
Because for the time that I've known you, it's like we had a basketball game. You lead a basketball game. You go right from the basketball game to a photo shoot. Lead a photo shoot. You at the club at night. Next thing you know, we got a game in the morning. You're at the game. You're on the radio show. So I think being able to put that into context is important.
Yeah.
But having that self-care day, how has that slowed down or improves your productivity?
And it definitely will improve my mentals for sure. I think it improved my attitude. I think it improved how I treat people throughout the week, because I think I take that day for myself, and it kind of gives me time to just sit down, reflect, refresh, and I can get back, start the week Tuesday on the cool note, as opposed to Sunday, because I got my Sundays be busy.
Yeah.
Sunday, then Monday I'm rushing doing all this, then I'll turn around, there's no time for myself. I don't do nothing. I might not eat right. And I had to stop doing that.
I think one of the things that you just hit on is really important, where you talk about your attitude change or just the way that you view people.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to be angry or upset. It's just I'm tired. And now I'm irritable and I'm irritated. And so are you finding that you have more bandwidth and more capacity these days?
Man, I have more capacity. I have more energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little more focused because I can focus up. My head's a little more clear because I do take that time for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel the support. I think that's one of the best things I could have done for myself.
Yeah.
As of late.
One of the real cool things that I admire, one to be able to call this dude my friend is just incredible, and be able to call my brother, pick up the phone and talk to him is incredible. But one of the things that I really enjoy is like this dude is so creative. It's not just I'm a DJ. It's not just I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Which I love your music.
Yeah.
So shout out to your music. But then you're also like a businessman creatively. Have you found that you're able to be more effective in your businesses now that you have a better self-care routine? And is it helping you to keep those creative juices flowing? Because I know you got to have some creativity in order to do what you're doing.
Yeah. All that. Like, like I couldn't be creative or anything without that self-care. That's why I push it so much. Like if you look at everything really I push, man, it's self-care.
Yeah.
And but we have to, especially for us though.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's really who I'm
We got the weight of the world on us, bro.
Black men and kids, man, and the youth. Because I so wish I would have knew this and started this earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I knew what I know now regarding self-care when I was early teens, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I might.
Now, were you just hard-headed? Like people were trying to talk to you about your mental health and you just was in denial? Or were you like, you just didn't know about it?
Just didn't know about it. And I was still active when I was young, but I don't think it was just, it wasn't taught like that. Or maybe I just didn't receive it properly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or maybe they didn't say it properly. You know what I mean? But I didn't know, like therapy. I would have never thought about it. Like I don't even recall anybody ever saying, maybe you should get a shrink or therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think talking to people just in general, I've been a close friend of yours, and I've had to really work hard to sometimes
Yeah.
climb that wall because you'll
Yeah.
put a wall up, and then I'm over here trying to scale the wall to get there.
Right.
So when we start talking about you going and talking to a counselor or something, I got to be honest, I applaud that, Tom,
Yeah.
because
Not that.
for years just trying to get a conversation and really get you to be honest and open up. Is therapy helping you to like open up more just in general with people? Because I feel like it's a different tone. Like we've
Yeah.
always been close, you've always been a good friend, but I feel like even our relationship is on a new level because we can be honest with each other
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I think it had. I think therapy has helped that. Give me some different skill sets to, work on bringing some of those walls down, building trust. I mean, it's still a work in progress because if depending on who you talk to today, they'll tell you, like, man, I can't.
Can't
He
get it.
hard. Yeah, I can't. I can't really get. You know what I'm saying? But little do you know, like, shit, I do more talking and communicating than I used to.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely think it's helped, but it's helped in different ways as well, not just with my wall and communication, but it's helped in many ways.
Yeah, I want to transition just a little bit because I'm seeing so much growth in you, Tone, as a man. Like I remember years ago, I was talking to you about, man, you got to get a nonprofit started, bro. The music part is beautiful, but you got to get back into the community and continue that legacy. How are you juggling and balancing? I'm still an artist
Yeah.
because whether you want to see yourself as an artist or not, we still see you as an artist. You still are Turf DJ.
Yeah.
So how are you balancing living in both worlds?
I'm not by myself. My biggest asset I feel like is my support system.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't be able to do none of this.
Talk about it.
It's way too hard, man. My support system, man, all around the board, man. I mean, my mom helped me in so many ways. Run my foundation, help with the kids. Big shout out to everybody that helps me with my that
Shout
runs
out
my
Miss
foundation.
Hanifa. I love
My
you.
mama, Mama Tona,
Yeah.
Mari, my sis Des, my kids' mothers. You know what I'm saying? My kids,
Yeah.
but my kids,
They in it
help-
now too.
everybody plays a role. You know what I'm saying?
And are you instilling like this teamwork philosophy into the team? And then
Yeah.
like it's interesting, you'll hear people say, man, don't get into business with your family.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious that you do the opposite. You
Yeah.
like all of the people that are around you are your family.
Yeah.
How has that been working for you?
I think because I do have those trust issues, so it's hard for me to bring outsiders in, which I'm working on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's also, I know my family be tired of me too. So the first chance they get, man, I don't want to. No, I don't want to be around him right now, which is fair.
No, I was a coach, for years, and one of the things that I resigned to never do was to coach my kids.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to come home and they be mad at Coach T.
Yeah.
And I'm now trying to talk to you about your homework, and you mad at me still about
Right.
something that happened, during the game, and vice versa. I didn't want to be upset with them about what happened at practice and bring that into the household. So I've had to try to have to navigate that.
Yeah.
Is the relationship with the team, are you able to like cut it off? Okay, mom is running the foundation, or she's a big part of the foundation. You didn't do something that you were supposed to do, so I'm on you about that. But then later on, we still mom and dad or mom and son. How was that?
I mean, it's like that. It's like that. But I think, as the years go on, we've been able to, okay, if that does happen, we'll talk about that. Then, okay, see you at dinner. Come be at dinner.
Yeah.
Or I'll see you when we eating or go. You know what I mean? So we talk about it. Even with the kid. So even with my kids, man, I want them involved, and I have them involved, but I try not to like force them though, because if it's something they don't want to do or want to help with at that time, I don't really just push the issue.
So are they coming to you saying, "Dad, I want to be a part of it," or are you saying, "I see the skill in you," or how are you finding that relationship?
Kind of seeing the skill, like I mean, mostly with Kyron, my 17-year-old, because he does photography and
Okay, shout out to Kyron.
yeah, big shout
Kai
out,
shot it.
fly guy Kai shot it. So it's more so like, okay, well I'll employ you for this, but so I think you should do this or help me with this. My other Keon was here recently for one of my block parties. Just employed him to be a part of it. But he has his own stuff going on with in college and all that. So I kind of just really I would like them to be involved, but I also let them do you know be involved at your own capacity.
Yeah.
What capacity?
Your level that you're
Your
comfortable
level. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, all right, no, I'm forced. You gonna get this job? You gonna do this? You gonna work for me? I don't really do that.
Now, are you paying them when you employ them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like, I'm hiring them, or are you saying, hey, how much would you
It also
charge me?
depends on the event.
Okay.
Some stuff,
Okay, you see how we had to backtrack on that.
No, but they do though.
Yeah.
They pay.
We had to backtrack. The kids
But
like,
some
Dad,
stuff-
you still owe me for
but-
that last time.
Yeah,
I did
but
that
it's
shit."
also I try to show them it's also important too. That's like, see, I look at stuff different too though, because I don't care what's going on. Like, even if I wasn't getting paid for my mom, I would never have my mom doing something by herself. Or if I know she need help doing, I'm not gonna just sit back because I ain't getting paid.
Right.
I'm helping regardless.
Okay.
So I try to instill that type of stuff.
That family
You know what I'm saying?
kind of teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's hard, especially nowadays, man, because kids might not really want to do it, and not even just I look at other organizations and they kids and how people run their stuff. Like sometimes it's kind of hard because your kids might not want to, be involved or help or whatever. But I mean, it's important for the kids, man, and for the younger generation to understand, man. We all in it together though. Like, you should want to do that.
Yeah, man.
That's something you should want to do.
Period.
For your parents or
your family,
your elder, your cousins, your auntie, whoever it is.
Yeah.
You should want to be a part of that. You should want to help in some type of capacity, because at the end of the day, it benefits us all.
Yeah.
In some form or some way or another.
No, I certainly agree, and I think I'm giving my kids a hard time. I think they wanted me to coach them.
Yeah.
I just think I didn't have boundaries.
Yeah.
Tone. I didn't understand,
Yeah.
how to do that, and I didn't ever want to have them fall out of love with it. But you are always super family oriented.
Right.
I could tell that Mama Tone means so much to you. Talk to me a little bit about growing up. Where were you raised at, and where did that closeness between you and your mother? How was that fostered and developed?
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't know I was born in New Jersey.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that either?
I think I did know
You
that.
probably know that. So I was born in New Jersey, but
Yeah.
moved to Denver when I was about 6, 7.
Okay, so Denver's hometown.
Denver's home.
Okay.
For sure. Like, I don't, like, unless somebody asks me, we talk about it, I'm from New Jersey because I was raised in Denver.
Okay.
That's what it is. But I think that all that came from, it was just me and her at the end of the day. Like, we had family here for sure. We moved here with family, but it was ultimately just me and her. Like, I didn't have a grandma. My grandpa was back on the East Coast. I never knew my dad's side of the family like that.
Okay.
So it was only just me and her. So that's why that relationship was so strong and solid. It was just me and her growing up, and I had to watch her work hard and all that, even when it was tough on her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think even talking about that, I think that brings me back to why I'm so consistent in doing all that, and so workaholic, because I seen her struggle so much too. I was working at an early age, getting money.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to see her. I was tired of seeing her struggle. Like, you ain't got to worry about buying me clothes or buying this and that.
So you was making money so that you could eliminate some of that burden.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I started.
Okay. Yeah. So what were some of those early jobs and some of the things that you was doing as a young man that started making some money?
I think the first job I had was I was a caddy on a golf course. Remember Kent, out in where Kent High School was,
Yeah.
like out that way. I remember I used to catch the bus. Far to me, an hour to even get there. So I was a caddy. That was my first job. Then I remember me and a couple of my homies, like, we would, the kids that sold the candy, running up on you. Yeah, so it was a company.
Getting exploited.
Yep, got with them. Then we did the roses on the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did that. But that was like more so for Christmas time for some extra money. Then I think, I had like 3 jobs at once. I was working at the Denver Zoo. This was when I was like 15. McDonald's. And I did outreach for one of these programs. I can't remember which program. They still around today too. I can't remember the Denver Inc. or Kids Inc. or something like that. I don't know. Those was all early jobs, 15, 16.
Yeah, I was a little dude. I was that dude that was knocking on the door talking about, "Can I wash your car?"
Yeah, all of
When it got cold outside, I was doing like this, and
Yeah.
then the homies was getting out there, and we was
Oh, yeah.
shoveling and
So
cutting grass
so
and
so
getting
actually,
after it.
yeah, that was first. I mean,
Yeah.
we talking about, but that wasn't like
That
a
wasn't a
real
job,
job. Yeah. So yeah, we was cutting lawns. Me and my brother Jason, big shout out J Cole. We was cutting lawns and shoveling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was early. I was 13, 12, 13.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they my sisters and all my homies, they was like, I was a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "We'll help, but
Yeah.
you got to ring the doorbell."
Yeah.
And so I was the one that was ringing the doorbell, giving them our sales pitch, and I recognized as a young dude that I had a talent
Yeah.
of talking to people
Yeah.
and also leading people to them
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I would get started. I'd sell this house on the car wash before I even left. They'd already had the buckets out. They'd start going, and they say, "I don't want you to help wash the car. Go to the next house and go
Yeah.
get the next house." And so I was like a leader,
Yeah.
organizational leader as a young person, and I didn't understand that. You having this musical background, how did that start? Were you like just had a love for music, or
Yeah.
where did that come from?
Yeah, I think it was the love of music. I was always talented. I was always me and my homie, big shout out Dre Payne, my brother Clifton Dub.
What's up, C Dub?
From young age, we was in the talent show, so we was always rapping, freestyling. Even still to this day, we do it. But
Who's
back
the
then,
hardest?
me?
You the hardest out of all of them?
Nah, probably Dre. Dre Payne.
Dre
Payne's the
go.
hardest.
Yeah, Dre go.
Yeah, Dre's the hardest.
Dub go. Dub
Dub
go.
go.
Yeah. But
Dub's
y'all
more talented. Dub's instrumental. Like he played the drums. He know how to make beats, do the real life drummer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's how I started musically. And I was even before that though. When I was little, I had a Sesame Street. My mom had a record player, but I had the Sesame Street record.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which is my record.
So it was like a little tune, getting you tuned up for it.
So it started way back then. So the music was always in me. And I think the older I got and the more I grew, the more I learned about music, bam. So started talent shows and we was rapping and we was dancing. Then in high school, I started making my own mixtapes. Like you have to press play and record at the same time.
You know that.
Yeah. So I was making all of us mixtapes
Mm.
like that from the radio and from songs from my other tape deck. You know what I mean? And really, that's kind of how that music started for me.
Did you ever get any kind of formal training, or is this all you just self-taught?
Self-taught, really. I wasn't no training. It wasn't no training, but big shout out to my cousin Kareem, aka used to go by DJ Criminal. He ain't Criminal no more. He's Ring Burgundy.
Come on, Ring Burgundy.
My first year of college, I went to go visit him in Philly, and he was a real hard with it, bam. And I was already on
Like
radio.
on the turntables.
Turntable.
Like he's working the turntable,
Yeah.
real DJ.
He real life DJing, scratching,
Okay.
crazy. I was my first work study job was on the radio, so I was already in college on the radio. And I was like, man, cuz I'm doing radio, and man, you got to teach me this. And he was like, man, look, I ain't gonna teach you, but if you're serious, I'll send my stuff to you, and you got to really just learn it on your own.
Mm.
And that's what he did. And I remember I set it up in my room. I was terrified, like I didn't really know what I was doing, so I kind of really had to teach myself.
What was your first equipment? Was it some turntables or a mixer, or what you had?
Yeah, it was a Pioneer mixer, and 1200 Technique.
Mm.
I think it was Technique 1200s, and he sent me a Pioneer mixer.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And just some of that stuff, when you look back on it, it's so invaluable. Like he made an investment into you that really got you going, because you ain't put the turntables down ever since.
Ever since, got good with them.
I want to rewind just a little bit. So like you in high school, you guys are having parties. Are you the DJ at the party? And
Nah,
you wasn't doing
I
that?
wasn't necessarily the DJ at the party. Nah,
Okay.
I was DJing at the parties, but
'Cause
I was there,
Yeah.
active.
You was at the parties.
Yeah, we was there.
Now, did y'all have like a little dance team and all that? Because I heard you say that y'all was doing some dancing.
We had no dance team, but we was active.
Yeah.
That's back when we was freaking.
Oh yeah.
In the house parties.
And Gumbo Loves used to shout out to
Loves.
Gumbo Love. That used to be so
Yeah,
fire,
Gumbo
boy.
Loves
That
was
was
crack.
set the whole party off.
Yeah, for real, for sure.
Yeah. So when you were in school, talk to me about what kind of student you were. Did you get good grades? Were you engaged? What kind of student and academics did you have?
I wasn't like a straight A student, 4.0, nothing like that. And actually, you know what's crazy? I thought I was a better student than I actually was. I just my
pulled that
Mama
transcript?
Tona found a report card transcript from high school.
That's
It was about a 2.4. I said, "What? No, how? I thought I was better than
I
that."
did too. Me and
But
my wife got into it real quick. So me and my
yeah,
wife got into it. We're very competitive, man,
yeah,
and I knew I was a scholar. I
yeah,
mean, I just knew I was a scholar, and then she pulled up the transcript because I was finishing up my degree, and she was like, "Hold on, what's all this?" And I think I
yeah.
ended with like a 2.4, 2.5, and so. Um, how did you stay focused in school, or what took you to college if you weren't necessarily like all of that in high school?
Um, I ain't gonna say I wasn't all that because I thought I was passing.
Yeah.
I was passing, so I thought it was good. And and honestly, man, I didn't even think about college until it was time to go to college.
Mm.
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
How did you end up getting to where you went how'd you end up getting to school?
Um, so that last semester, I had to really kind of start getting serious and thinking about, man, what am I gonna do? Okay, everybody else, everybody talking about college, going to college, and this and that. And long story short, it was a lady. Dang, what? Oh, I'm gonna feel so bad. I feel so bad for forgetting the name right now. Oh, that was my people too. But she's from Denver and worked at Lincoln University in Missouri, so they did some recruiting here.
Okay.
Um, and we ended up, well, I ended up going to see a couple schools. Like I went to Clark to visit Clark. I went, a couple different schools, Bethune-Cookman in Florida, and we went to they had an event in Denver, and a bunch of us because they was trying to recruit a bunch of us, and so it was like 10 of us. We all like, all right, well, we're gonna go here together.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And we all went, and it was kind of cool thing. Like it's in Missouri, so it wasn't that far. It was far enough,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
The money was cool. Like it was manageable for the first year or whatever, and we had that support, man. It was, like I said, there was about 10 of us, so it was enough of us to kind of feel comfortable with each other. Feel comfortable about going somewhere new, and it just worked out like that. I mean, I'm actually happy that it went like that because I didn't know what I was gonna do. Honestly.
Now the dudes that you went to school with were those cats that you grew up with?
Yeah, yeah. We was all pretty close. A couple of them was my close homies, family. J. Cole, Jason, my brother K. Reese, Kyle, and my homegirl Ronette was one of my best friends to the day. Yeah, it was about We was all cool. We all knew each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And grew up, played against each other in sports or whatever. Yeah, so we all know each other for sure.
Now, was athletics a big part of your upbringing? And
Athletics was, but not so. Like I played real quick in college, but then I was like, this ain't
football?
football. I went,
Now,
went
I didn't
played
know
football.
that.
Yeah,
You got to break that back down.
yeah,
So
but see, I didn't
played
pursue
football.
it.
Did you play football like little league all the way growing up?
I played football. So how did I little league all 2 2 years of Pee Wee, 2 years of Bantam, lightweight, all that. Played my freshman year of high school and my senior year of high school.
What?
So the
The
2
start and
years
the end.
start and end. I didn't play in the middle, which I kind of wish. Some days I wish I would have, but man, that's around the time I was really, man, I was getting money. I was really working. I was doing other things. I wasn't, football really wasn't the focus. I kind of wish because I love football though. I kind of wish sometimes I wish I would have stayed playing.
Yeah. So you always had this desire, and it's like you coming from a single home. You want to help mom out. You want to be able to develop that. What are some skills that you learned as a kid that you still bring and use with you today?
Mm, That's a good one. Some of the skills. Um, I think really just really I think I had to early on. I was just alone so much. I had to just learn to live, survive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Feed myself, cook. I learned the basic necessities of cooking. Like I wasn't never a chef or nothing until
Ain't Chef
later in
Tony.
my
Ain't no
life.
Chef Tony.
Not until later. Not until as of recent. But I knew how to survive.
Okay.
So I mean, I would say basic survival skills, really.
Yeah. I think for myself, I was like, I think gifted speaking. You know,
Yeah.
for some reason I always had pretty
Yeah.
girlfriends and
Yeah.
you know all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was able to use that gift of communication and that gift of articulation to really inspire and motivate and to lead people. When I look at it and think about my childhood, it was really blossom in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, with the people that I grew up around.
Yeah.
What kind of neighborhood did you grow up in, and what were some of the things that was happening in your neighborhood when you was coming up?
So my main neighborhood was Park Hill, because even when we moved from New Jersey, we moved straight to Park Hill.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
Did y'all have family there?
yeah.
Okay.
So rest in peace, my Aunt Evelyn. That was the central location. So I think everybody in my family lived with Aunt Evelyn at some point in their life. Right there on 26 in Bel Air. So that's where we was at for a couple of years. Then we moved a couple blocks away, right on the other side of Colorado, for a couple of years. Moved back to Park Hill. Then we was over on Ulster in Evergreen Village.
Okay.
Then moved down to Mont View a little bit to Aurora. Came back to Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always played for Park Hill Falcons and Skyland. And, you know what I'm saying? So I was raised in Park Hill. So I mean, I grew up in, I mean, at that time the neighborhood was, a black neighborhood. It was, gang infested. So, I was always around, kind of that type of culture.
Did you ever dabble in the gangs yourself?
I didn't, but it was there daily.
How did you stay out of it? What was your recipe to not get caught up? Because I think many of the kids that grow up in those environments, they end up getting caught up, maybe just because they don't have anything else to do or they don't understand. Like, how did you keep yourself out of that?
I think it was a couple of things. I think first, I think I was just never a follower.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was never a follower, so that's just that ain't nothing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, big shout out Mama Tony, man. She would always keep me acting like there was always. Even right now, bro, it's always something. She knows about everything. So I was always at this camp, or I was in this program, or doing this. So, sometimes when some of my homies had time to go over there, I can't. I'm gonna meet you later. I got to go to this program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you like those programs as a kid, or were you like, man, it's a drag? I want to be I want to be in the neighborhood.
I think some like started or hearing about it first going is like, man, I want to do this, but then I ended up liking it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ended up liking it and appreciating it.
I never wanted to get put on, Tom. I'm going to be honest. I never wanted to get put on. I was like, y'all ain't about to beat me up, and then that's going to be the way that y'all going to say that we friends now, is that you guys just all jump me and beat me up. So I really never wanted to. And I think for me I think it was sports, Tom.
That's and
my mom, I'm one of those that was fortunate to have a mom and a dad. Shout out mom and dad.
Sure.
They wasn't playing that. My mom and dad was strict. You know what I mean? I'm like, street light, get home, check your homework before you get done. Right. So I think keeping people involved and keeping your kids involved is an easy way.
I meant to say sports too. Sports for sure, because sports took up a lot of time.
Absolutely.
Sports took up a lot of time between. Okay, going to school, then you got to go straight to practice. By the time you get done practicing, you trying to eat, you trying to.
You ain't got no energy,
I ain't got no energy. I'm tired. I ain't got no time to go gangbang.
Yeah. All right, thank you all for joining the show. Just a quick reminder, if you like the content that you're receiving and you want to help us out, we really would appreciate that. If you want to help, you can go to our Cash App, which is $the Pro Formula, or you can go to our Patreon account, which is patreon.com/the Pro Formula. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to us. What would 10-year-old Tona think about you today? Like, if you could talk to him and just show him what your life looks like, what would he think?
He'd be proud. He'd probably be surprised, like, dang, for real? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think 10-year-old Tona would ultimately be proud. And
what would he be most proud of?
Just of the success, probably being alive still.
Yeah.
And healthy. And, successful in his own right.
Yeah. If you could talk to your 10-year-old Tone, what would you have told him? Like some advice that you would have gave your 10-year-old self?
Advice I'd give my 10-year-old self, I'd probably just, I'll tell him, man, just trust the process. Sometimes it's not going to look, it's going to look like it's it's going to end there or it's going to go a different direction. But just trust the process and keep mashing.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Keep mashing.
Yeah, I think little 10-year-old Tark would be somewhat surprised, but when I really think about it, I think this is natural for me. Like where I'm at in my life, I think it's natural, but I think he would look at it and be like, I didn't have that vision, Tom.
Yeah.
Like I could have never seen what this looked like. I think I wanted to be successful, but I didn't have very many examples of like what a businessman and success, kind of looked like. As we're looking at like your kids, and I love your kids. Shout out to Dino and Coco and Mau Mau and all the babies. We already shout out my man Kai.
And Noble Big
and Big Noble too.
Yeah.
But just how would they have, if they were growing up where you grew up, would they have thrived? And then if you were growing up now in their generation, how would that have worked for you? What you think?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would like to say they would.
Dino gonna thrive back then. Dino
Dino gonna thrive. He was a go getter.
Yeah,
sure. But as time goes on and this technology and the social media, it's just different. It's different. I think.
Tom, real quick, not to cut you off, you would have been more turned up now. Social media, just your personality of who you were back then. Yeah. If you had that same swag and that same little vibe and your whole little energy going, but now you had the technology because we was on the pager.
Yeah, we
were doing all that on the pager. We on the RTD. We getting down. You know, like our parents never took us to parties, and at least I'll speak for mine. They wasn't taking us to parties. We were way more resourceful than our kids. Right. I think you in today's generation, you would have been popping. You would have a check mark. You would have all the followers, and you would be certified.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, definitely. And plus our our hustle's different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Our hustle's different. I think. I just want things a little more. Like I know what I want. I mean, I just go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really like, complain about it, man. We just do it. Yeah. I ain't,
I think with our kids, some of it is like, did we give them too much? Are we giving them too much? Yeah. All the things that we wish we had. And I don't think that they don't have work ethic and that they don't want to get it, but we just made it too easy for them.
I think it's too easy.
My mom her favorite thing to say was no.
Yeah.
This is how I used to have to ask to go outside. Let me give you an example. I say, Mom, I got all my homework done. I finished up all my chores. Yeah. And, I'm going to ride my bike over there. Me and Terrence is going to meet up and I'll be home by this time. I wanted to give her everything, every reason to say yeah. Because if I would have said, if I had left anything out, she'd be like, what about your homework? You need to get your homework done. You ain't going nowhere. It's like, but Mama already got it. I said no.
Yeah.
So I think we was hearing no a lot more. And I think for me as a parent, I say yes way too much.
Way too much. And I think, the kids have a sense of entitlement, but I think it's our fault because, we just doing everything and giving them everything that we really didn't have, couldn't get.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to make certain mistakes that we did, or we don't want them to bump their head or any of that. So we try to make it a little easy for them. Oh, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? I think they just entitled.
Yeah. I think it's a guilt. I think some of it is guilt.
Yeah.
And some of it is we want to make progress.
Yeah.
From one generation to the next. It's like you hear your parents talking about, I used to walk to school 7 miles a day with one pair of shoes. And you're like, well, we got technology. I don't need you to walk to school, but some of that hustle muscle was developed while you was walking to school.
For sure.
And I think it's healthy to hear no every now and again. And I wish I would have told my kids no a little bit more. But then I'll be honest, Tom, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Like telling my kids no when I know I had the means to do it. They're like, why would I say no?
Yeah, me too. But I think we have to sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we have to sometimes, and it kind of helps them build that character. Like you said, it helps them with that. What's the word?
I call it the hustle muscle.
Yeah, the hustle muscle.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's transition into where you are present day. I don't want to say how long the birthday bash is going because you're still looking young and you're looking fly and fresh and all that. But
it's all good.
But how many bashes are we at this point?
So we going on 17.
Come on, Tom.
Yeah.
17 years in a row of doing events for the community. If y'all don't know about the DJ K-Tone birthday bash, I don't know where you are. It's an event like all the time. You could go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
You could go to a club. You can go to what's some of the new things that you're doing?
So the biggest new thing is basically the mental health day. So that's kind of what we build everything around on that Saturday. It's a mental health and wellness day. So really, it's a mental health and wellness week. That's what the birthday bash week is now.
Okay.
Whatever annual birthday bash, mental health and wellness week. You know what I mean? And that day we just have, so we have some speakers, we have panelists, some mental health specialists, and people in that field.
Yeah.
We feed people, they eat all that, but then we break people up. So we have a men's group, women's group, kids group.
Okay.
We also have somebody doing massages right there, and it's just all self-care and learning about yourself. And the dopest part is the breakout groups, because that's a chance for individuals to kind of get vulnerable and understand it's not just them, and they do have support. They have people that's just like you
Going through the same
through
thing.
the same stuff.
I think it's something about hearing other people say the same thing that you're saying. It almost validates it to say I'm not weird or
Right.
I'm not weak or any of that. So I think you putting that platform on is big.
Yeah, it's definitely big, and that's kind of why I do it, man. Because I think there was a need for it. There was a void. Plus, I was going through it as well.
Yeah.
So I just kind of utilized my platform to, build awareness on it.
Man, I remember, early on, and then to hear about a mental health week, it's been a transformation.
Yeah.
What made you start the birthday bash, and then where's the birthday bash going to be at in 10 years?
So what the actual start of it was just because I never really did birthday parties for myself or any of that coming up. One year, I'm like, I'm gonna just do some parties. I'm gonna use my resources and the art, the rappers, and whatever I know. I'm gonna throw my own parties, and it really wasn't nothing that I was looking to make money on. And I just kind of wanted to do something for myself, and it ended up being 3 days because I couldn't fit it all in one day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was dope, and it was like, oh, okay, well, I could probably make a couple dollars from this, and this was popping. Did another year, then started getting sponsors and all that, until it just became like it's bigger than me now. Like it's my birthday week, but it's for the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really for the city, for the community. Now we turned that into the mental health and wellness week. So it's not just parties. Like it's not even as many parties as it used to be. You might get one or two. You still might get that comedy show, but you're gonna get this mental health day. We're gonna get this. We're gonna do this bowling event to give back to organizations. You know what I'm saying? It's just different things throughout the week.
I'm forever grateful for the black tie event that you threw. That was so player. First off, it was so smooth. Everybody's clean.
Yeah.
Then you presenting us with a big check to our organization, and it was just like. I'm always in awe of you. I mean, I know we partners and it's like you my friend and all, but I still am like, I know this dude, but not only do I know him. He's like, T, get up here on the stage, bro. Like, talk to the people. What you want to say to them? And here's a check for $500 or whatever the amount was at that time, man. And I just will never forget that. And I'm forever indebted to you for that, bro. You really helped us take our program to another level. With the trips that we was taking and all of that. It was like, Tony, I don't know how to do this, man, but I need to get some money, bro. And our parents don't have the money to do it, and you use you leverage your platform to help send our kids out there. So salute to you for that. And the B-Day Bash is coming up again in March. I know I kind of asked it a little bit earlier. Where do you want to see it in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what are some plans that you have or some visions that you have for the future?
Well, I think my vision is always changing, and my vision is always, I don't know. But what I do know is we're just going to keep building and growing. And even 10 years ago, I didn't know I was going to be, during the birthday bash, giving out scholarships to kids. Like we give out scholarships to kids every year. Now I have the book award.
Talk about the scholarships though. That's something that you did. You just glossing over. You got to stop there for a minute. Talk about the kids that you're helping out with the scholarship.
So we do the DJ K-Tone Book Award, and it really just started with me giving one kid a scholarship just out of my pocket, not even promoting it. Just you know what I mean. So I wanted to do that, because I was once one of those kids in college, and you know what I'm saying, needed extra funds, and it started like that, and it just got bigger. It went from one kid to three to five to 10 to 12. You know what I mean?
How do kids apply for it, and how do you select
So they
who wins those awards?
so they just apply on my website, KatoneCaresFoundation.org, and it's just it's a real application. So you know they have to fill out the app. They got to do an essay, transcripts, submit their transcripts, all that type of stuff.
Now, is this specifically for kids in Colorado, or are you extending this nationwide?
So it initially used to be just for kids that was in the broadcast communications field that I graduated in. Then I stopped that and running like so now it's any kid can apply. Like we just had one of the kids who just got an award is in Kansas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so anybody can apply. I try to make sure every kid gets it, but sometimes kids might not turn in their transcript or they
missing requirements.
They missing requirements that would like, all right, you got to turn this in. I don't know if they just brush it off or they don't need a couple dollars or whatever, but we try to reward the kids who who the app is filled out properly and all the way, and we just that's I want to just expand that. Like I want to get it to where it's 50 kids a year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, what's it gonna take to do
that? Just support. You know what I mean? Financial support, supporting these programs we're doing, donations for the organization. Really support, man.
Shout out that website again.
KatoneCaresFoundation.org. KatoneCaresFoundation.org. And while we're talking about it, I ain't come empty-handed, man. I brought you a little foundation pack.
Come on, y'all. Look at the little foundation pack from my brother, man. Right on, man.
Foundation pack, man.
I appreciate it. You see, I'm repping the K-Tone Foundation right there on my shirt as well, man. That's big. Yeah. When did the foundation start? And let me ask you an honest question. Did I help inspire you at all to start moving towards this direction?
Yeah, man, you helped me a lot, man. With your inspiration, it helped me a lot, man. You talked me into you be talking me into a lot of stuff, actually. You know what I mean? But the foundation started in 2021.
Okay.
And man, I never, if you asked me like 5 years ago, I wouldn't say, yeah, I see myself running the foundation or a nonprofit. I didn't see
I remember coming to your house, sitting down at the table with you, and I said, bro, you got too much of a platform. You need to start a foundation that is doing basketball tournaments and being in a community like that. And you was like, for real?
Yeah.
Like kind of just nonchalant. For real? I was like, what you mean? Yeah. People would rock with that. And it's the evolution of you. So I'm just so proud of you, man, and just what I see you doing. Let's talk a little bit about what your foundation is doing. I know that you got this block party that is cracking throughout the city and you hitting all the different hoods. Like talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, so there's a couple different things I'm doing with the foundation, but the block parties, the foundation actually started with the block party. So it started in 2021 doing the block parties. Our first programming was the summer block parties. So it's the last Saturday of the month, all summer. It's usually June, July, August, September. We didn't do June this year just so we could support our other people who had events that day. But July, August, September, the last Saturday of the month. And it's really just a big party, and we do them in Park Hill. And there's a reason why we do them in Park Hill for a couple reasons. One is because that's where I grew up at. Two, there's not really much going on in Park Hill, and people still feel like, well, they might be scared to go over there or feel like there's just nothing over there. But there's really a lot of history and a lot of culture in Park Hill. So I did that to kind of bring it back over there. But we have big party bus. I got DJs on there. I always have some hosts from the community. We give out community awards. So I give out the book awards. We have food trucks. We have vendors. Kids zone. So we got the big bouncy houses, arts and crafts for the kids, face paint, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's lit. I'm talking about the parties are lit, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that that just speaks to your vision, bro.
I mean, and it does a number of things. I mean, the goal of it is to bring community together. You know what I'm saying, in this particular area, but it also We have the vendors, man, so we keep the dollar in the black community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have volunteers, but we also employ people. So now we're employing people as well. We're exposing the community to these different vendors and these different businesses. So you might go visit this vendor that might be somebody you needed to, you know,
A
to,
little
to, to
network,
run
a
into in
little
this
partner.
network. Now you networking and doing business together. You know, so it does a number of things. And one of the most important things is, bro, we it's youth violence prevention too, man. We taking some kids who could have been doing anything else, like I said, like we could have been doing younger. They could have been doing anything else that day. They could be somewhere else. But nah, come on,
Give them a safe place.
Give them a safe place to
Yeah.
be at.
That's big. Salute to you for that, bro.
For sure.
Our show obviously is the Pro Formula, and so I want to get into a little bit of like what it takes to be a top level performer and a professional, and also to have the kind of consistency that you have. We hear that you got your self care Monday. I love that.
Yeah.
But like, walk me through your daily routine. Like, you wake up at what time? What time is you going to bed? What are you doing throughout the course of your day so that people could kind of get a understanding of how you get to this level of consistency?
So you definitely wake up early. Like sometimes I might wake up at 5:30. I might wake up at 6. So I have a daily regimen. Sometimes I get off track, but ultimately I try to stay consistent with it. So like so my day, wake up early. I try to make myself some tea, do 10-minute yoga and stretch. Well, no, first of all, I pray before anything.
Okay.
So I pray before I even hop out the bed. Then I do my tea, yoga, and I try to journal. You know what I mean? I try to journal every day. My goal is to read at least 30 minutes every day. I kind of got off track with that, you know what I mean? But that's the goal. Then I do the gym.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's key for me though. Because I feel like I notice when I don't make it to the gym, my day ain't right. But that's mental health for me too. It's not only physical health, but that's mental health.
And if you ever hug this brother, man, this man got some massive arms and a strong neck and all of that.
No, but that's mental health.
Yeah, for sure.
And then as of late, man, big shout out to Righteous Rage and A Soul. But he implemented this 4 hours of deep work, meaning just do 4 hours, put your phone down, don't engage in none of that, but 4 hours, whatever your work is. And so for me, it might be like I could spend time researching music, downloading music, organizing my crates, returning emails, making calls, do all my work within that 4 hours.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And then
so this ain't just happening by happenstance. You intentional about getting this work done.
Got to be intentional about getting the work done. And like I said, you know, sometimes you might get off track, especially being an entrepreneur, and like you might get off track, or something comes up, or the kids got to be here, especially in the summers. Like because you got the kids,
Sure.
They got to be here. You got to pick them up. You got to do all that. You know what I mean? But some type of structure.
How do you get back when you like? Because I think some people fall off, right? They like everybody got a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Then they fall off, and then they're like, "Well, I lied to myself, so I can't do it no more." But I just heard you say I'm not always on my schedule the way I want to be, but then I get back to it. How do you always find your way coming back to what you do?
So you got to hold yourself accountable in a lot of ways, and you just, I mean. So I don't know. Sometimes it's hard, man. But I like to kind of look at. That's why I try to write my stuff down, write my goals down, where I need to be. Just go back and read them. Okay, let me go back and read. Like I read my goals the other day. Like I'm tripping. Like I didn't do none of the stuff I said I was gonna do.
Okay.
So what do I need to do?
Rereading them and tweaking them.
Rereading them, tweaking them. You know, staying up on your goals, man. And you know. You just got to want to do it. You got to want to do better and be better and stay on and get back on track. Like if you just don't want to, you ain't gonna do it. Like if you don't want to do anything, you ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you ultimately have to want to do that and be there mentally.
Man, you just the growth. You always been a real boss, but your growth is just crazy to me. Are you happy with your level of success these days, or are you still? Because I know you, and I know you always driven. You always trying to do the next thing.
Yeah.
Do you ever smell the roses? And what do you do? Like, what are some things that you do to like? I'm smelling the roses, man. I'm proud of what I did.
Um, I try to give myself grace, more grace than I do. Am I happy? Am I happy? I think I'm not happy where I'm at the moment.
Mm.
No. So
Is it like a number, a financial goal? Is it a number of people that you help? Like, how are you now these days measuring performance and measuring success?
um, that's I don't know. I think sometimes you just get stuck. You know what I'm saying? For me, I feel like I just haven't been creative.
Mm.
So I had to. I did some things. I actually created some. I don't want to say it on here yet because I ain't
It ain't
make the
much.
proper.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
But will you
I had
come
to do
back
some.
when you do it?
Yeah,
Maybe we could do it
yeah,
around two.
yeah.
All right.
But I had to do some things to get back creative for myself to get myself to a place where okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I'm not really happy with where I'm at the like overall. Yes, where I'm at, like in my career and all that. I'm not.
Yeah. My wife, she asks me a lot of times. She says, "When is enough enough?"
Yeah.
And I'm trying to answer that,
Yeah.
because she's like, "Is it a certain amount that you want in the bank account? Is it a certain platform that you want? Like, what is enough?" And I don't know if I'm gonna ever get to that point.
Yeah.
I think I'm always gonna be ever evolving and ever chasing myself.
Yeah.
I'm not like looking at other people saying I want to be like bro or I want to do it like this. I'm looking at myself saying it's more in me.
Yeah.
I left some on the field.
Yeah.
Are you kind of that same way, or
Yeah, I'm that same way for sure.
Okay.
I don't think enough is enough.
okay?
Even when we think we can say that's enough, but it's
But
not
doesn't
enough.
that contribute to the mental health a little bit? Is because we're never satisfied, or we never. I mean, is that contributing a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, again, I think it's more so boundaries too. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna get here, but then I'm gonna take a break
Okay.
and get back to it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a break could be a day, a break could be a week, a break could be a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Get back to it, y'all. Don't just like give it up and just don't pick it back up. Get back on it. I think you're gonna be in situations where you're gonna fall short. Like you said, man, summertime for any of them parents out there,
yeah.
you can't wait for them kids to go back to school so
Yeah.
you can get back on your real
Right.
routine and get
Right.
back on your real regimen. So if you are stuck or you find yourself out of your routine or find yourself out of your pattern, just get back on it.
Yeah.
Like it's just almost seems like it's that simple. Is it that simple?
It sounds more simple than it really is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's just all about the motivation too, man, and where people's mentals are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can dig it.
Some people, it might be harder for some people because they really do have to. They live check to check, so they might have to go to work and they can't really focus on, being creative or doing what makes them happy because they got to worry about paying these bills.
Are you a TV watcher? Do you watch TV and
I
stuff?
don't really watch too much TV.
Yeah, I'm noticing, as I talk to more and more, professionals, it's like it's those things, that hour that you watched that show or those 2 hours that you was involved in doing those non-productive activities.
Yeah.
You could have been working on your business plan,
For sure.
or you could have been getting your business done. And my wife, shout out to my beautiful wife, she sometimes like, baby, I just need to turn this show on just so I can decompress.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say just all work no play, but I'm saying there's time in your day that you could give back to yourself.
For sure.
And a lot of times we're finding ourselves spending and doing things that are not productive or not fruitful.
There's so many things that's not productive that people do, and I'll try. I don't really talk about. I'll try not to judge them. I don't play video game.
I ain't played a
I
video
don't.
game
I
yet.
just don't understand how. Can I say whatever on here?
Whatever.
I don't understand how a nigga broke and playing video games all day. It just makes no sense to me.
Unless they
You know what
playing
I'm
video games for money, because I'm saying that's
I
an
only know
industry.
one person who plays video games for money,
Okay.
and I gave him grace. He like, okay, you crack.
Yeah, that's
You know
that's a
what I'm saying?
business for you.
That's a business.
But like you sitting over here playing video games all day, all night. I ain't
don't-
played one in probably 10 years. I still might get at you in Madden. No, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, and every now and then it's cool, but I don't understand how somebody could just spend so much time
Yeah.
doing that, and all that time, bro. You could have been building. You could have been writing goals. That you could have been building this plan, thinking about this. You could have been doing anything. You could have been working, making some money. I don't get it. I never understood that.
Yeah.
You
I
know
like
what mean?
that. I just want to talk a little bit about like if you had some advice for a young creator, because again, I ain't gonna like, yeah, I ain't gonna let them box you and just calling you an artist. You ain't just an artist. You ain't just no entrepreneur. You're kind of a, I call you like a creator
Definitely.
or a creative. What's your advice for that young creative that's on their journey? They ain't cracked yet. Ain't nobody came up and asked them for an autograph yet. They ain't got booked. They ain't win the Westward Award. Like, what's some advice to some of those creatives that's on their way and on their journey to trying to get there?
Man, I'll just say, just keep being you, man. Don't be afraid to write them ideas down. Don't be afraid to pursue whatever idea you have. Like, I don't think there's a dumb idea. It just, it might not necessarily work. It might not work at that time. There is no dumb idea, man. Just keep creating. I'll just say keep creating. Whatever it is you create, just, man, keep creating. And
But what if it ain't
believe in
popping
it.
though? Like I mean, I hear what you're saying. Just keep creating, but it ain't popping yet, and you feel like I just got on and ain't nobody like my page, and ain't nobody supporting it, and ain't nobody showing up, and I threw this event, and I put my money into it, and I still ain't got no return, and I'm running out of funds. Like I'm talking about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, figure out, do your research. I feel like people don't do enough research nowadays either.
Okay.
Man, do your research. You could be creative, but do research on whatever you're trying to do. Don't be afraid to ask for help, for sure. If you need some help, you need guidance, advice, don't be afraid to ask for it.
Yeah, I think we use each other sometimes to just talk about books. What book you reading, bro? You read this book? Oh my God, that's crazy, man! Like, be on thirst mode for knowledge.
Yeah.
Be on thirst mode to get information. Don't just like, oh, I got it. No, you ain't never got it figured out.
No.
You still got to always be trying to figure out what these new trends look like and what's new and what's popping. You know.
And that's why I said earlier, man, you just to start any of this, you have to want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can make somebody go to the gym and work out. Like, they first have to want to do that.
Yeah.
Then you can help them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to switch gears. This is a little fun segment I call End the Debate. End the debate. Because we always debate about these things, man, and I would love to get your take on some of these deals. So I just want you to come up with the first answer that comes to your mind, Tone. Don't try to be all scientific and just what's in your heart. All right, you down?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So if you're on vacation, is it a beach resort or you want to hit the city?
Beach.
Beach resort.
Beach.
Okay. Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
Malcolm X.
Tupac or Nip?
Tupac. Oh, or Nip?
Or Nip.
Okay, you say I can't get.
That one's tough. Ain't that one tough?
That's tough.
That's tough. Which one?
What we talking about
though? Who you rock with more? That's crazy, ain't it?
And I.
Nip's
This
Pac
might be
2.0 to me. He's just the more mature Pac.
Yeah, Mike, and I might have to say Nip. Because I grew up on Pac, but I might have to say Nip only because of
his evolution.
His evolution,
yeah,
for sure.
I was like, I told my son one day, I said Nip's one for me, Pac's two. He said blasphemy. He said, you talking reckless now, but I think his impact on me was important.
Yeah.
Do you prefer to read a book or do you prefer to listen to the book?
I prefer to read it. Although lately I've more been listening. I prefer to read it though.
I love reading a good book. I love turning pages.
Yeah.
I love how it feels when I'm at the last page and it's done.
Yeah.
But the Audible I can get through more.
Yeah.
But I'm also realizing, bro, sometimes I'm like, I gotta listen to that chapter because I was doing too much. I got distracted.
Just on time.
So when I'm reading, I feel like I'm way more intentional. I'm getting way more out of it.
Yeah.
Last one. For you, is a good night a party at home or going out?
At home.
Party at home.
Party at home.
Yeah, this is so crazy. He's a DJ. He's in the club all the time. When I first started hanging with him, I thought this dude must love the nightlife, but he's really a homebody. Bruh be at the crib.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'll be there for sure. Like I prefer not to go out if I don't have to.
Yeah. This last little piece, man, I just want you to talk to the camera and just you talking to the people. How do they support the DJ K-Tones Foundation? what are you doing in terms of your music stuff? Like, how do people get with you if I want to book you for a DJ, what do I do? If I want to get with you on supporting your nonprofit, tell us how we can get a hold of you and how we can rock with you.
So as far as DJ K-Tone, man, you could always find me on my socials at DJ K-Tone. You can email me, DJ K-Tone Booking at Gmail. You can send me music, all that. I'm on. You can see so I do have a lot of music coming up. I just did an album with my brother 5280 Mystic out of Phoenix. It's called Active and Overdue. It's on all social platforms. Me and my brother Interstate Ike got this Earth is My Turf 2, which is part 2 of the original Earth is My Turf, which came out during COVID 2020. So that's coming out in a month. You can find me all in places: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all that. Just search DJ K-Tone. As far as the K-Tone Cares Foundation, we couldn't do this. We can't do this without support and donations and funding and the support of the people. So if you do support any of these efforts, go to the website ktonecaresfoundation.org. Check out what we do. Just look us up. Talk to some of the kids whose lives we changed, we've impacted. We might have helped save one of your kids' life, your nephew or your niece or anything. But ktonecaresfoundation.org, there is a donation link up there. Even if you can't donate with money, that's cool. If you can volunteer, if you can come, if you tell somebody about it that could, possibly help or benefit from it, everybody's winning. ktonecaresfoundation.org. Check that out.
Love it, man. Well, I really appreciate it. This has been such a fun time for me, man, and it's so good to see you. I'm so proud of you and all the growth that you've had. Y'all, this is a wrap on the Pro Formula podcast. I really appreciate everybody's time, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Peace.
Yeah.